It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you are at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can be part of the adventure tonight in the chat room and participate with others as they watch the show. If you are listening later, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app so that you can get all of the weekly Geocache Talk goodness.
All right. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music if you're listening to the audio side of things. And our featured patrons, Just B, Baker Six Clan, Little Black Dog, Irish Allen, R Cool and PJ Cool 711, Lady Black Cat, RAR 285, Chihuahua Jill, R&M Cashers, Cal Running, and our new patrons, Logwork, Mika Put, and TTO2. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache Talk website, or you can go over to Patreon, patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the famous blackout coin.
That one?
That one. Yeah, there you go. If you were been around a while, you could get the green one, but that's gone.
You even warned me we were going to show that one off today.
Yeah, sorry. And if you were part of the leaderboard, you got the
Oh, you're just showing them all off then.
sparkly. I got them in front of me, so I just grabbed them. That's okay.
I love that one. I think that one's going to be like, why didn't I get one of those? Well, that's
really
over. That was extremely. Not only is it limited, it's done.
It's
like,
done.
There's no more gold that's ever going to be printed. So
nope, that's it. It's kind of like the green one.
Done and gone. So
yeah. Yep. So blackout coins, we still have some other geocaching items during the year, as well as bonus content, invites to special events only for patrons. Support level start at as little as Bison Tube level, which is just $3 a month. So you get all the good
news. Is we got a lot of patron stuff coming up. We've been working some other stuff behind the scenes, so we haven't been able to do as much of that stuff lately, but it's time again. So
yeah, we're gonna do some exclusive shows. We've got a lot of other ideas too that we're kicking around. So
look at that.
Patrons get what's that?
Somebody activated their leaderboard coin, so they're sharing it.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's excellent. Yeah, excellent. We're already talking, but let me welcome my co-host Jesse.
Oh, finally! I thought you were going to forget to welcome me.
Absolutely not. Never.
No, this should be a fun one, and we're going to get into the news in a minute. But coming off of a holiday and a new souvenir and everything else, actually got to do caching again. It's fun to actually go caching.
You remember that? That's good. Who's our sponsor tonight?
Here, you're ahead of me. I didn't even get to do.
I know. I'm jumping around on top of you here. There you go. Right in the Rain. So, which is you'll get to hear a lot about Rite in the Rain tonight.
We're talk a little bit about it tonight, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm not going to give you any blurb like I normally would because the show's about Rite in the Rain. But before we do that, though, let's do an announcement. So if you will bring in our announcement guests, if you would please.
This person and this person?
D, yep. D and David.
Now they're over there.
D and D and Tom Berman, Electric Water Boy, down here. So we'll just turn it over to you guys, and y'all can fight over who gets to talk first.
Yeah, because you don't know what we're announcing.
No, I have no idea. I just glad to hear that.
We always know it's something good when y'all say you have an announcement. We always know it's something good, though.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I like it that I can send Gary a message and say, "Hey, I need like 5 minutes on the show," and he says, "Sure, how's this date?" Doesn't ask me what it's about. Nothing. Just like, "Hey, yeah, no problem."
Maybe I should have asked.
We love to break news, so we always love to be the first.
Well, you notice she's wearing that Woodstock shirt. Are we doing Woodstock again?
No.
Woodstock 2021. Woohoo! No. Okay.
It's not that.
No.
Geocaching HQ is moving to Texas.
Please don't start that rumor.
Okay, then what could it be?
Maybe not.
Somebody is joining an exclusive club.
Well, I was there when Gary signed the Texas County Challenge log. I know he's already in it, and unless Memphis has been sneaking down here on weekends, he's not there yet.
No, he's not.
Like 240 away. I'm close.
It's a more exclusive club.
Yes, this is a more exclusive club than the TCC.
Oh,
are you talking like the club that we're not even in?
A club that we're not even in.
Wow.
One that kind of gets announced at Challenge and somebody can't be there?
Yeah, so we were trying very, very hard to get the other half of Geocache Talk, Memphis, to challenge this year, but unfortunately, he couldn't.
No, he can't make it.
So we wanted you to be present when we did it.
So we're breaking tradition here.
We are breaking tradition. It's the first time it's ever been announced somewhere else, but TXGA would like to induct Geocache Talk, both Jesse and Gary, into the TXGA Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh. No way. You got to be kidding me.
So this is an exclusive David Vickery painted can, and let me tell you, this thing's been painted about 14 times to make it perfect.
Oh my goodness.
That is awesome.
Wow.
That can's probably got more coats of paint than any car you've ever seen.
Oh my goodness.
It's certainly been sanded more than anyone has. So we are inducting you into the 2020 class of the TXGA Hall of Fame. It is a very exclusive club. There is less than, I think, 30 or 40 people in it. And as Tom stated, neither him nor I are in the club. You cannot be in the club when you are a board member, so neither of us have been inducted. This can, I will give it to Gary at Challenge. Cool. There's 24 other people, and there's 3 inductees this year, and you were one of them.
Oh my, thank you so much.
And it also comes with a path tag.
Oh, neat.
That our designer picked the Geocache Talk green to put in the center of it.
It's awesome.
So there'll be one attack in the can. Well, actually, we'll put 2 in the can since there's 2 of you. We'll put one on the Hall of Fame can that everybody can look and discover. Right. And then we'll have the rest of them for a sell at challenge for anybody.
Wow.
So
that is incredible.
Thank you guys for all of your support of Texas geocaching, support of TXGA.
Yes.
And like I said, I love that I can just say, hey, I need 5 minutes, and you'll give it to me without asking any questions. In this case, it worked out well. Because I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you kind of tricked us, I guess. Not really tricked us, but I assumed it was about Texas geocaching, about Texas Challenge. Since we're only,
and it is.
It kind of is. You're right, but oh my goodness, that's unbelievable.
I'm so sad I cannot be down there. It's
incredible. I mean, just going back through as far as just from geocaching history, and I want to spend a lot of time on this. Jesse and I'll do something on it later, but 9 key. I mean, we got, drives. Barney Smith, he was inducted. So, I mean,
the founders, Lucy Girl, U.S. Moros, the Texas Park and Wildlife. Yep. It's a pretty exclusive class. So,
that is awesome.
We appreciate all y'all guys do. And, it was a no-brainer to induct you guys this year.
Awesome.
So we just want to say thank you and congratulations, and thank you for all you do, not only for Texas geocaching, but for geocaching in general.
Jesse, you're in a Hall of Fame now. And then they're like, how does a guy named Memphis lives in Colorado?
And you're in the TXGA Hall of Fame. You can see it really well. Yeah, you can't, but that's what the coin looks like, or the path tag looks like. You can't really see it well.
Okay.
It's on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Turn it.
There you go.
So, but yeah, so we'll have them there, and each of you guys will get one, and then the giant can. I don't know if David can hold it up. That's the one that we bring. It's got all the Hall of Famers on it.
Yes, look at that.
So
that's a real ammo can.
Yeah, no joke. So y'all's tag will be right there.
Awesome. Look at that.
That is too cool.
Wow. Well, Jesse, you're in the Hall of Fame, man.
Look at that. That's right. I was shooting for baseball, but I'll take geocaching.
Absolutely. Well,
that is so cool.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, it means a lot to us. We'll do we're podcasters. We'll do a show on it one night.
There you go.
So definitely talk more about it, and we'll go through and review some of that. So yeah, I'm blown away. I mean, I have a speech somewhere. Maybe no, I've got no speech.
No speech.
I'm speechless.
Well, write a small one for when we give you the can at Challenge on Friday night. And Jesse, I'm sorry you won't be there, but we wanted to make sure when it was presented that you were here for it. So
well, thank you so much. That is an awesome surprise. And Gary did you know?
I had no idea.
Okay. I was saying, Gary knew it, didn't tell me.
I had no idea.
No, I literally said, hey, I need 5 minutes. And he said, okay, how's the first? And I said, sounds good. So,
wow, so cool.
Maybe Flat Jesse will make an appearance at Challenge.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
He's out there somewhere.
He's out there. Flat Jesse. So, Well, thank you guys so much. And we'll talk soon. And yes, I'll see you guys in Round Rock in 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll get a lot of folks to come down and be a part of it. So we're really looking forward to it. So thank you guys.
All right. Thanks. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, all right.
Oh, there we go.
Well, that was cool. And you didn't even spill the beans, but you didn't know the secret.
I did not. I had no idea.
You would have spilled those beans big time.
I had absolutely no idea. So
that's an awesome way to start the show.
Wow. Yeah, I'm blown away. You're gonna have to do the talking because I'm just gonna have to. I'm just trying to find words right now. So
I'm so jealous you get to be down there in person.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's not often that you're speechless, right?
Yeah, it's very rare that I'm.
Well, do you want to go through the news, or you want to bring our guest on and let him kind of join us for the news?
Yeah, let's bring him on for the news. So go ahead and bring him up, and we'll kind of continue on show 187 here. As we welcome to the Geocache Talk Show, Sean Leacy of Rite in the Rain. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Oh, wrong side. There we go.
It's backwards. It'll take a while to get used to that.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Sean, glad to have you on board tonight.
Yeah, glad to be here.
We've got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, and you got some show and tell, and I've got a few items we're going to talk about as well. And I think hopefully there'll be a lot of questions too, because I know I always had a lot. And of course, we talked before the show this week and got some good answers. But I think people are going to really, I think, have some, because we use a lot of the product, and that we really thank you guys so much for that. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of news, so you can chime in if you want at any point, and then we're gonna get right into the topic here in a minute. So let me go back up to the news. So real quick, I do want to mention that we have another announcement. Not that I knew this was going to be an announcement, but we do have an announcement that we're going to talk about at the end. That Rite in the Rain is a partnering thing we're doing with them. And we'll talk about that later. But first, I do want to mention something. We're coming close to getting 1,000 subscribers, Jesse.
On you, that's crazy, isn't it? Especially for an audio show. Yeah,
on YouTube. On YouTube, we're at 965.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's this has always been an audio podcast, right? But
right.
The group was originally much smaller that would come in and watch live on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we still have that pretty tight family that actually participates in the chat room. But more and more people are watching the video, which is interesting. And it's also interesting because we're not only on YouTube.
Yes.
So we're on Twitter. Periscope is the Twitter, but the Facebook, a couple groups in Facebook. So this broadcast live over several different things.
Right.
And even we're almost at 1,000 just on the YouTube side of it. So
yeah,
that's a lot of people that hopefully are getting something good out of the show, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And don't forget Twitch.
You know what's funny?
We're on Twitch. We've got almost 2 viewers on Twitch.
No, we have more viewers.
Oh my gosh.
We had 2 subscribers. Last week we had 14 people on Twitch.
They're getting on there to watch, video games and all that other stuff, and they're like, "What are these guys doing?"
Bouncing around. Well, we are under the podcasting section of Twitch, so I think that helps a little bit. But we've got we're up to 4 podcasts now. We won't really go into all that tonight, but it's not.
Even though Zach, who's in the chat room, would disagree. No, it's not about the numbers on this one. Hopefully, it's about providing value, right? And there's no good way to measure it, and we're not going to go through measuring every week, but it is neat when you see those milestones like that.
It is. And Jeremy, it's kind of about the numbers. We love our New York listeners.
I don't even know what Twitch is. That's funny. Hey, we're there.
Twitch. It is a funny. Yeah. So
it's a popular platform that's mainly gaming, but there's everything on there. So
yeah, it's grown a lot, especially over the last year. It's they've really began to pivot to as YouTube has started to make a bigger presence in the streaming scene. Twitch used to be pretty much the de facto streaming platform for anything streaming for gaming, but now they're expanding out. There's a couple others that are stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of competition right now for that streaming, that live streaming platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our show is just a little too long for TikTok, so we probably won't be able to be on there anytime soon. But
although geocachers are starting to TikTok, I mean,
I know
Joshua is going through and putting a bunch of. Is that like 12 seconds? I think is that what that is?
don't get me lying. No,
something
I'd have
like
to Google
that.
it, and I'd still probably be wrong. So
Yep. Sean's shrugging his shoulders.
I'm not that young.
Come on, come on.
I'll have to ask the kid. I don't know.
You got to be into the, all the hip stuff that's going on right now.
I do my best to keep an eye on it all. I worked about 2.5, 3 years working for a K-12. So that was like my focus at that point, is just making sure that everything was blocked like it's supposed to, and new social media platforms popping up all over the place.
Right.
No, I'm vaguely aware of TikTok and what it's doing, but for the most part, it's just not my thing. I don't have time to keep up with that many.
Sodak Zach in our chat room, he mentioned, that he's gotten 2 million views out there on his card game. Now that I think, Zach, that breaks your Vine. Zach was a big Vine guy. Remember when Vine was a big deal a few years ago? So, good
Zach's
for him.
The perfect person for those type of platforms. He's younger than at least the two of us anyway. So
yes. So very cool. All right, we're moving on. Leap Day was really good. Jesse, you had a couple things that you wanted to mention about Leap Day geocaching yesterday.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I've had, over the last several months, I've had many, many big projects outside of geocaching that I've been having to try to complete so I could get back to geocaching. And slowly at the beginning of this year, we're slowly gaining and getting more and more caching time in.
Mm-hmm.
So Leap Day, that was one of the projects I was working on. There was a group of us that published 35 lab caches all in the same area.
That's incredible.
And then a bunch of bonus caches to go with it and stuff, and some other caches, and it's and then CEDOs and events and all that. So it was a big Leap Day, so people could go out and get all kinds of caches and stuff like that. And there was a few people that were finishing their calendar. Some people that may have missed the last Leap Day and things like that. So it was a fun day, and I think we got about 19 caches. A CEDO, another event.
There's now a few in Colorado now, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, there's a few in Colorado.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
That is a lot. Yeah, all those at the top just came out this weekend.
Yeah, that's incredible though, to do all those adventure labs. I do want to give a quick shout out also to Arkansas. Not just because I have a son there, but we have a lot of listeners in Arkansas and watchers, and they added a whole bunch of them as well. So I definitely want to get up there. Fort Smith has like 3 or 4 now, but they've added a bunch in their state, so that's really cool. So it's just neat that they're doing more and more adventure labs. So anyway.
Well, and I got to run into Dune Buddy. He was at the event this weekend, and some other people that we got to talk about Mingo and all kinds of other stuff that's coming up. And I just love the events. And in a day full of events is even better, right? You get to run. It's almost like going to a mega. It was a tiny mini mega this weekend, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I probably could have done a lot more caching, but I got wrapped up talking to people instead. So it was a good Leap Day for sure.
Kitty Catch coming in from Australia. She's mentioning that she's going to go try to get as many as she can while she's there. It really does bring in a lot of people, those adventure labs. She's coming in from Australia, and she's going to go spend time in Colorado, in the Denver area, and spend money. That's really does have a good effect on the economy to have those.
It does. It was a lot of fun too, right? You know how nerve-wracking it is when you put a cache out that's kind of tricky when you start. And you put one out and you're like, okay, I hope this goes right when the first person goes to find it. Well, this whole group was pushing the envelope a little bit on all of our caches. Like mine were in the library, and you're supposed to watch videos, and you're supposed to wear headphones. But caches don't always follow the rules, right? So I'm like, this is kicked out the first day. So I put it everywhere, blasted out on the, please wear headphones. It's the library. It's a bunch of videos, and my voice is not exactly quiet. So please wear and it was me and my daughter that did the videos, right? So we're both loud.
Right.
No complaints. Everybody wore headphones.
Oh, good.
However, the day before they come out, right? Like, we're going to publish them the next day.
Yeah.
We get an emergency notice from the library that goes, hey, we're shutting down the second floor for the weekend.
Oh, no.
Even better, guess why?
No.
We detected bed bugs.
You're kidding.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Bed bugs in a library?
How did this happen?
This sleeping.
It ended up being a false alarm, I think, and they opened it back up or whatever. But I was like, I'm just going to give you the answer to the second story lab because I don't want you going up there just in case there's bed bugs. But,
okay.
That always comes out like, right, that has to happen, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Plan it for months and months, and that's going to happen the day before they come out. So
did you just tweak that one lab?
I did. There was only one where you went to that store, that floor or whatever to get the answer. So I just put that in the lab. So for this weekend, this is the answer. Don't go upstairs.
Okay.
And I didn't hear anything, about it. It ended up being okay, and people got them, and even the caches associated with it, which were also tricky, of course. So you get that nervousness like when you put out your first cache. Yeah. That's always that fun, exciting time. But everything went good. It was a great weekend for caching.
Sweet.
The whole thing was pretty good.
Fun. Well, let's jump in and let's get Sean involved in talking about the topic tonight. Obviously, Ride in the Rain.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I mentioned before, we have an announcement about partnering with them that we'll get to at the end. But let's go back to the beginning, Sean. Yeah. The history of Ride in the Rain with a guy named Jerry
Darling.
Oh, Jerry Darling. Okay.
If
I could read my own notes here. So tell us a little bit about what you know about how Ride in the Rain began.
Sure. Yeah, it's born and raised in itself here in the Pacific Northwest, so Washington State. The early 19th century, there was a huge, the Pacific Northwest, Tacoma, Washington, Seattle, Olympia, and then down the coastline was huge for the lumber industry. Okay. And back in those days, if they had a deed or a checklist or anything like that, specifically the lumber checklists, as they're cutting down all their lumber and bringing it down into these little meeting areas where they can get them packaged up out on the water to float out and keep inventory, they were taking effectively just a 1x10 or a 1x12 that had been cut, had been painted white, and they were marking on it all of their notes. And then when everything was said and done, they would paint over it, they'd wipe it clean, they'd sand it, and it would be ready for the next group. And there are some inherent inefficiencies in that process.
Yeah, I could see that be a problem.
Yeah, some real inefficiencies in that. And someone came up to Jerry Darling and had this idea more than, Jerry was a chemist, I believe, by trade. And so he was more on the kind of coming up with an idea that could be kind of an entrepreneurial process for the area.
Right.
Early 19th century, this whole area up here was booming. We had a lot of industry happening here. Tacoma, which is where it's located now and has been located, though we don't know when the business moved to Tacoma. We don't have a definitive, this is the day that it moved.
Right.
Pretty early on in the process. And by the 30s, I think the first patent that was done was 1920.
Okay.
And so he actually went to war and came back and found that the material, the business basically that he and this other guy had started up had been swindled away.
Oh no.
So and he was determined to just continue with this idea of having something that could be applied to a material to allow it to be waterproof.
Right.
So nowadays the process is drastically different than what it was back then. Much more eco-friendly. The material that was done before was highly flammable.
Yikes!
Not stuff you wanted to be around all the time.
Right.
But it was one of a kind. It fit well with the industry, and eventually it turned into something where they were able to get a patent in 1920. Though it expired, I think 17 years later, 1937 or so, they were able to get the ball rolling with what this is going to be, and begin to establish themselves in this area. Right.
And so you're going to send me the formula so I can create my own, right? Okay.
Yeah.
No. So without giving away trade secrets, in a general sense, how does, because it's paper, obviously, or different things, but is it some kind of liquid that's put on it, or I mean, how is it made so that this doesn't become a soggy mess? Is there
probably magic, Gary?
It's magic. Okay, that's fine. We'll move on now.
As we said in the conversation earlier this week, it's unicorn tears, fairy dust. I mean, it's the whole gamut to make this.
That's right.
So
it's the tears of people who have had soggy messes for. Oh, look at this. He does a good show and tells. Way to go, Sean.
Here's our show and tell piece number 1.
Okay.
So this is an end cutoff of our rolls.
Right.
So we get these 1-ton paper rolls.
Wow.
This is maybe 15 pounds or so. The full are a full arm's length out.
Right.
I like these because when these are done, I take these home every once in a while.
Yep.
And I've got 4 kids who love to draw and color. We do a lot of home improvement stuff.
That's neat.
I can run that through my miter saw to get smaller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Looks like this.
Sweet.
And the kids love it. So this is really heavy stock paper.
Right.
And it goes through a machine that we call the coder.
Okay.
That's what it does.
Yeah, that's what it does.
And it sprays a very fine mist of our coating material over the top of it.
Right.
Bonds it to it through, I think, UV predominantly. And then as it comes through, it ends up in a big roll on the other side of it.
Okay.
Now that is cut depending on the order, or because there are some places, especially with military, that'll take the whole roll.
Oh, right. Okay.
But we do our own binding and stitching and printing in-house as well for the majority of our notebooks.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. What is a container?
In a container.
Put that into that won't fit in a standard ammo can, unfortunately.
That'd be $7 for sure.
Yeah. It's cool. The forklift that we have that moves them around has just this huge clamp in the front of it. And so it just goes over to it, grabs it, twists it sideways, and moves it around.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of products. We're just gonna cover a few of the giant bison tube. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple different ones tonight, which will be fun. We're not gonna cover. I mean, you have a lot of products, so people definitely go out to Rite in the Rain, RITE in the rain.com. So Sean has done some geocaching. Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I wouldn't consider myself a geocacher after having been exposed to everything that you guys do. When I was in high school, I grew up here in the Pacific Northwest, and so we would go out and do geocaching out in the woods. Didn't do a lot of urban geocaching, which I see is pretty popular. But it's something that I've really, like, as our kids are getting older now, I think my oldest is 8. We love to hike during the spring and the summertime. So it's definitely going to be something that we're picking up more here as we're looking to do more hiking. So it's a lot of fun from my experience. But yeah, it was probably high school, maybe after high school or so. Early 2000s is when I probably did the most geocaching.
Yeah. No, that's cool though that you have the background at least that we for tonight. So
once a geocacher, always a geocacher. So exposed to the world, you're always there, right? You can't unlearn something. So
no,
exactly.
And he finds quality hides, Jesse. He loves the ammo cans and so those are.
But you know what? There's some people that find 100 a day, and then there's some people that find 100 for 10 years. They go out every once in a while. That's the fun of the game, is that it's not a all or nothing type deal. You can, when your kids are in town, and you can go take them out, or whatever. Or some people only do it on travel. So
yeah. We have something here local in Tacoma called Monkey Shines that happens every year. And Tacoma, Washington is known well for all of their glass blowing, Chihuly glass, all that kind of stuff. We've got some incredible glass works here in Tacoma. And once a year, a top secret team of glass blowers blows these beautiful orbs and medallions and other glass works. And there are thousands of them that get hidden all around Tacoma. So people who know, it's not like you have to follow their Facebook group nowadays, know the day that it's going to get hidden. Most people know someone who is one of the people that hides them at this point. But yeah, it's incredible. And it reminds me a lot of the geocaching idea, but there's no set, this is where it is.
Mm-hmm.
You go out, your eyes are peeled, you're scavenging through the bushes, you're looking at, so it's a lot of fun. We've been skunked the last 4 years that we've been doing kids. It's fun to get out and explore the area. You get to learn your city a little bit better, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of crossover there.
A lot of people do. I know my wife will look for. She keeps her eye out, like you said, for rocks. Paint rocks.
Yep. Yeah, Tacoma rocks. We've got a big group here.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, you're talking about that giant one you had, because people are joking about in the chat room about putting it in like a large, like you said, you'd never have to replace the log.
Yeah.
But
one of them to get it out.
Yeah. But you can use Ride in the Rain all the way down to the Nano, or if you're in the Dakotas, you call it a Blinky. But I've got a piece of paper here. It's a log, the tiny little log. Why am I talking very, very high for a Nano? But at the end of this, I don't know if I can show it on screen, but if I can get it to show it, but it's got the little Ride in the Rain logo on it. So that's cool. So people are really using, using your products in different ways. Because somebody asked me before the other day, and I thought, and I guess people don't maybe know, but you can buy paper. You can buy the paper online. You can buy, like you would any kind of regular paper, 8.5 by 11, strips or whatever the paper. So yeah, there's some there's a
form, but
there's a long form, right?
Yeah.
So that's really
pretty constantly.
Yeah, and we're going to show a couple other ones too, because I want to talk about the notebooks too, because they end up in ammo cans a lot. But
sure,
one of the things that I want to kind of switch over to is this is interesting. Curious Kitty mentions is a virtual at a bridge of glass in Tacoma.
Oh, cool! Yeah, Bridge of Glass is beautiful.
Oh, okay. There's a geocache there. Sean,
okay. I'll have to next time we're down there. I'll have to take a look.
Oh, it's near a webcam. Those are very rare. Webcam, you basically just kind of get there, take a picture, and you get to log it if the webcam's up. So,
oh, cool,
very cool. Now, yeah. So, before we talk about writing on paper, Ryan brings up something interesting, Sean, about need a laser printer. So, is there something you need to know about printing on laser Ride in the Rain paper? Do you have to have? You can't do it on an inkjet.
Yeah. So this all kind of boils down to one of the core misconceptions, and it's not. I mean, the product is built to allow you to write on it while it is wet.
Okay.
So the two main ways to be able to write on it, well, really, there's three if you really want to get to it, but standard pens. We have our own pens. We have clicker pens like these here. We have lots of different ones. Pencils are the easiest one for most people. Just use a pencil. It stays on there pretty well. And then crayon or anything like that that's kind of the wax-based will stick to it really well.
Okay.
Those are great. So with that said, if you were to try and put something that is more water soluble or is like a gel pen, a lot of people use like a gel pen, and that is terrible on Rite in the Rain.
Right.
If it's water-based, it's just going to roll right off.
Right.
If you were to run some of our 8.5 by 11 through your inkjet printer, that would make a mess.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, it is laser printers only.
That's cool.
To affect inkjet printer if you try to do that.
make a huge mess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that blurry, squidgy mess coming out the backside of the printer would not be a sight to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So like highlighters, I think since they're water-based are bad.
That wouldn't, yeah. So what you'll see a lot of times is some material will stick just fine, but the majority of it's just going to wipe right off.
Okay. Yeah. That's the point. It's supposed to be so if it gets a little bit wet.
Does erasing ruin the paper? No. So I love our pencils. I'm a woodworker by trade, a chunk of maple on the back here. I use our 1.1 millimeter pencils on a regular basis. These have been fantastic. I would happily buy these if I didn't work for Rite in the Rain. But the eraser itself, erasing on it, you're still going to see, I mean, just like any paper, you're always going to at least see a little bit of something behind it or left over. But no, it doesn't ruin the paper.
Somebody asking about stamps, Sean, because people have a lot of people have like when they do a log, and we're going to talk about these a little bit, but they'll have like let's give an example.
Personalized stamp.
Yeah, so they'll have like a personalized stamp, like
sure. That
like
that's probably
right here,
well, and Rite in the Rain. A stamp like that, it wouldn't come through clean at least.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and that's like we said, that's part of the beauty of the product is if it does get wet, and that's why I want to show out real quickly. I do want to show this is some logs that I've laminated over time. They're all archived logs, but I have a good example here, and hopefully it'll come through. Won't come through on the audio, obviously, but I'll explain it as we go. But one of the things is that there's a couple logs on here that I want to point out. One is this one right here, which you can see over, and we've all, Jesse, you and I have all been there. And many viewers have watched.
Listeners, Gary has a laminated sheet of a bunch of different logs from old archived caches that he's showing, and some of them are Rite in the Rain and some of them aren't. So he's showing the difference between those two.
Yeah, and obviously the one on my right.
It'll be the left on the screen.
Left on the screen.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of starting to mush. People kind of did write on it, but it's starting to go away. But you notice the one on the side on the next to it is Rite in the Rain. That's the old logo, right, Sean?
Yep.
Yeah. And you can tell even from a distance, even though now it's zoomed in, but even from a distance, you can tell the Rite in the Rain one still is in the same shape it originally went into the cache. And the other one looks like receipt paper that's been destroyed at the bottom of your car.
Yeah. And
I would think to describe it.
Yeah. And the Rite in the Rain one was out there from 2014 all the way up till fairly recently. So, I mean, it was out there, give you an example, that gives you a good example. It was out in the wild for many, many years. And I'm sure it went through, people not putting it back exactly right or getting water on it, but yet it survives great. And that's really why, for geocaching, it's perfect because these logs will sit out, out in the wild for could be a long time, years. And we've, as far as us that have done geocaching for a number of years, I know, both Jesse and I for sure have run across where we open up a can or a bison tube or something, and we open up, and we look inside and we go, well,
mush.
There's kind of a log in here. Sort of.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to advertise Rite in the Rain paper and you're going to run TV ads, you could get 1 million testimonials from geocachers, because immediately when you get there, you're either going to get something that you can sign that looks like a piece of paper and it's in the original format, or like a soggy, mushy. I cannot tell you how many times people have tried to dry paper out on the hood of their car, or like scrape it out, or I have scrawled my initials into a pile of mush as many times as I have. I'm like, hey, it looks like my initials there. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's just that one extra step, right? You're very happy when you get there and it's actually a log that you can write on. That's pretty nice. That's part of the game. So
somebody's asking Sean about, because some people have stickers. Do you think a sticker would stick okay to just regular Rite in the Rain paper?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to depend on what type of adhesive is being used.
Okay.
So if it's just a simple peel and stick kind of sticker, I don't see why not. It would really it would really depend on the sticker. I don't think that it would form a good bond.
Okay.
But it would likely stick there. I mean, my kids have stuck stickers on them all over the place, but they don't. I'm not putting those out in a can somewhere to see how long it stays on.
Right. So when you cut it, I think what RG's is thinking about is not like on a professional or something you get at school. Like you take scissors to it. Does it cut okay on scissors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And I think that question is centered around like it now. Is that a
weak point?
Protected edge? Like, is it going to start soaking up?
So here's the cool thing. So yeah, that's a great question. It really depends on the application.
Okay.
But we recently had a YouTuber actually on, I think TikTok is what the original video was posted on, where she did her own non-prompted review of it, fully submerged the paper under the notebook underwater, did some artwork and such underwater. And you can see after a while, after it's been completely submerged, it starts soaking in some of that water.
Okay.
But you can still write on the top of that. When it dries out, you can still write on top of it. Even if the paper is saturated, it doesn't become weak like you would expect saturated water to be, or saturated paper to be. Wow. So even if you cut that paper along along a seam or however you want to do it, that doesn't then make a weak point on an edge where now it's going to start fraying apart like that.
Right. Oh, curious, KDB. You're right. You could have done the commercial today. Log and Bison was mush. I called the CO cache owner and asked if I could replace the log and put in a Rite in the Rain log.
Nice.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Show that one. That's a cool one. That's the tell people about that one.
So this is one that we actually make. This was specifically made for Groundspeak. This is part of their geocaching kit. Yeah. So it's just a small blank official logbook. We haven't printed these in quite some time. We did a big order for them a while ago, and they've probably got boxes of them at this point.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just a small little notebook. You can use it as a log. You've got identifiers in the front. It actually even has some etiquette printed on the back of it, which is quite nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we don't sell these direct to consumer. You need to get these directly through the geocaching website.
Right.
And it is again so nice when thinking about geocaching, and I know Sean, you found some or whatever, but we have people that have found thousands of these things. Yeah. Right? So it's something they do on a regular basis, but there's a huge difference when you go out and you get the back of a Walgreens receipt as a log, or if you get an actual official log in there that's nice. And you see the game, it runs the full gamut. You'll see somebody put down a cache that's an old broken medicine bottle that's cracked, and it'll be like a napkin because that's what they had at the time, and they'll put it in there. Or you'll see one that people put out an ammo can, or a real lock and lock, not like the sandwich container that came with your deli meat. They'll put that out, and those can stay out when it's a true locking container and a good Rite in the Rain paper. Those can stay out for years and be in great shape when you go and find them.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, we've got these here. If anybody's in the Tacoma area and they swing by we've got a place in the Port of Tacoma. It's our main warehouse. We do have a little storefront there, but these are free. You can come in and snag a little sample notebook.
Oh, neat.
It's 24 pages. Yeah, 24 pages.
That's perfect log.
Standard, yeah. So these, you come in, you can pick up one of these and toss this and replace a cache if you get in touch with the person who might have one that wasn't using Rite in the Rain paper. Swing by and grab this kind of stuff, because man, as we start geocaching a little bit more as a family, I definitely will be making sure that I have a handful of at least these on hand, to be able to swap out where we can.
That's perfect. Yeah. If you do go in,
popular geocacher in town, if you're upgrading people's caches with Rite in the Rain paper.
Yeah. And if you do slip by the Tacoma office, make sure you mention that you heard them. You heard about that. You heard Sean on the show, but
holler up at me. I'm just up on top of the stairs. So
there you go.
Love to meet anybody who's listening to this.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So we're going to have a little story time with Sean. He's going to tell us a couple stories. One that I want to hear you tell the story about, Sean, is something about a notebook in a swamp. What was that one all about?
Yeah, so one of the cool things about the product is I've worked for a lot of different companies, done sales for a lot of different companies. I work in IT. I'm a systems administrator here for Rite in the Rain. And so I get to hear things kind of third hand most of the time. Our customer service reps, our order entry, our sales reps are usually the ones who get to hear these directly from the people this has happened to. But yeah, it wasn't too long ago that we had someone who had mentioned that while they were out, they work in geosurveying, I believe. And they would take a team of interns out and they'd go out into a swampy area and they would, do their surveys. And one of them found a Rite in the Rain notebook that had been effectively submerged in the swamp, mud, muck, water since the last year's interns class. And they were still able to look through those notes and read the notes and things were still legible and useful. And so it's, we pride ourselves in making a product that stands up to what we say it'll stand up to. Mm-hmm. And so when you hear these types of stories come back, we hear a lot from the military. We've anybody who's served in the military probably pretty well familiar with Rite in the Rain product, as we've distributed through the military for a very long time. You can go to Army surplus stores a lot of times and you'll find old Army surplus Rite in the Rain notebooks for sale sometimes.
Okay.
And so it's being able to see these being used in day-to-day use and hearing them hold up beyond what we expect them to be able to do.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah, military, but also law enforcement and fire a lot because elements. There's nothing you can do, and if you have non-waterproof paper, it's just a bad night. It's not fun.
Yeah. We just released a line, the blue line, that's specifically for law enforcement. Mm-hmm. So we've had some of our local police officers coming in with their own money to buy our brand new notebooks so that they can do their notes and such that are all trackable so that they can be added as evidence in a case. Mm-hmm. So everything is our team that puts these notebooks together, they really do a lot of research to make sure that if we're going to create a custom product for an industry, that it's one that is going to be used by that industry.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Julie mentioned she's seen some at the down at Lackland Air Force Base, military. So we'll talk about a couple products real quick. Although the whole night's been interesting, talking about different ones, but one of the ones that I guess most or many geocachers I think are familiar with is this one. It's got a number. Is there a reason why is there a number just for?
That's just an identifying. That'll give us an idea of the size.
Okay.
That's a 146.
Yeah, it's a 146. That's cool. Yes, that's a 146 right there.
We've got a smaller one here. It's a 135.
Okay.
A bit smaller, top spiral notebook.
Yep.
So all of them have, as you'll notice, all of them have a small little ruler.
Yeah, I love
the on the back.
Yeah, I love the little ruler. That's kind of a cool thing. Just an extra noted little extra doodad. That's really cool. The flammable kind.
Those could be fun too if we had a few of those.
You never know.
No, it's so to briefly address that, which I think is important. That is like 1950s era.
Right.
I think the first fire was because we had a series of fires back in the 60s and 70s. I think the first fire was 1963, but the material again that was being used is completely different than what it is now. The material we use now is almost entirely recyclable. All of our inks that we use in house are all soy-based inks. The paper offcuts and such are all recycled. I mean, we've really, really made a big push to go the route of being as eco-friendly as possible, making sure that we're not adding a lot of waste in our production. I don't have to wear a mask in the back if I don't want to. Right. It's not like the chemicals that are being used to coat it are so toxic that they're dangerous to the employees that are working back there. So.
Yeah, and the irony of it too, Darrell's talking about great kindling. Actually, nowadays it's not.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's actually, it's paper still. But it's not really. we wouldn't call it flame retardant, but was it sort of
it's pretty heat resistant.
Heat resistant. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's nice. Part of the whole process in manufacturing is that this is going to withstand elements quite a bit more. That is both heat and cold.
Yeah, which is great because if you're in the Pacific, if you're in the Southwest or wherever it's really, really hot, Texas, it's nice to see where it'll sort of maintain its integrity.
Yeah.
Scott has a good question about writing instruments, something we don't normally get to talk about much, but yeah, you've got some. Can you kind of talk about the writing instruments a little bit?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is I'm a pen guy. I love pens. I've been a big fan of Fisher for a long time, and it was always kind of one of those, oh man, it'd be so cool to have one of those neat Fisher space pens.
Yeah.
And then when I started working at Rite in the Rain, I realized that we actually partnered with Fisher for our pens. And so our standard kind of bullet pen, got a few of them back here.
Yeah.
My daily pocket pen here is not kind of black on dark here.
That's okay.
A small metal clicker pen.
Yeah.
So, but this is where the magic happens.
Yes.
So our little cartridges.
Oh yeah.
So this is not the same ink that is used in our Fisher pens or the Fisher pens.
Okay.
Very similar, but it's better suited so that it cures quicker to our paper.
Oh, neat.
So these are pressurized cartridges. For any of these types of pens that have replaceable ones, you can just buy the refills and keep the pen.
Oh, cool.
So this is one of our preferred ways. Yeah, it's
a pen
we have so many cool things. Yeah, we just started because our pens are not, dirt cheap pens. These are metal pens.
Right.
They hold up well within the elements. They write upside down. They write underwater on our paper. They would write in zero gravity if we needed to.
Cool.
But because of that, we've also started releasing a line of plastic clickers.
Okay.
So these are much cheaper. And then I've got a slew of different writing utensils here, but we've even got some bullet style pens.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Show what a bullet style.
Oh, here's a bullet style pen.
Okay.
So this is much smaller. So our standard black pen.
Yeah.
This is much.
Oh, I get you. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but this comes apart in the middle, flips, and now it's a full size pen.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So
great.
We've got these, and these use the same type of replaceable cartridge. You can unscrew it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And replace the ink cartridge itself.
It's a nice size, though. If you've got, like, if you want to put it in a not coat pocket, but like a, something small. Like if you're carrying a something small and you need a small pen to go in, to take with you. Yeah, that's a good size.
So that we've also now got that with a plastic in a 2-pack. So that's these little guys here. So these pop apart. This is not a replaceable cartridge, the plastic ones.
Right.
But it feels like a plastic pen, like any standard plastic pen. It's got some nice gripping here, or flat spots so that you can grip it a little bit easier.
Cool.
But it fits real great in the hand. We've got those in a 2-pack. And then my personal favorite, our Trekker. I love this thing. It's a little small for me.
Uh-huh.
But it's got a key loop, so you can hang this on your pack.
Sweet. Yes.
And then you just pull down and you've got your pen.
Yeah.
It's got a rubber grip here in the front.
Perfect.
So that you can make your notes. If you're out in the woods or anything like that, this is great to have something either hanging off your hip.
Yeah. Yeah, much easier, like you said, to have something like that because you can attach it. Something you attach it with. That's perfect.
Yeah. And we can also do a belt clip style. I use these in the shop.
Okay.
So this is just like a sheath style.
Right.
So this clips onto your belt and you can just pop in just like that. It's all using the same cartridges effectively. They all write great on our product. They write great on everything else. That's what I keep a pocket notebook in my pocket. One of our sample notebooks is just my daily, my EDC is just one of those little guys, but we've got those. And then we've got colors galore for our metal clickers.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
So our new ones here, we've got our Blaze Orange style, which is a new line that we released this last year, I think.
Okay.
And then we just released this January. It's kind of tough to see through the packaging, but the ODG green or OD green.
Oh, okay.
Color.
Sweet. That is awesome, Sean. Yeah.
Interesting. So you may not even be aware that they're being used in this way, but there's a large event coming up in Kansas.
Okay.
In May.
Is there? Oh, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We talk about it a lot on this show. That's why. But they're working with Logworks, which uses the Rite in the Rain paper to build logs for geocaching. And there's about 150 to 200 of those going out into the wild.
Oh,
and,
cool.
So there'll be a lot of people going to get all those, but it's that Rite in the Rain paper, so it'll stay good. It's a huge amount that go out all at one time in one area. But that'll be a nice touch for all the people there's hundreds and hundreds of people that'll be coming in that weekend for that event, and they'll be going and getting all those at one time. So they'll be seeing it a whole lot that weekend.
Yeah, that's cool, and I love it. It is a product that does what it says it'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You'll notice things like if you're in a really hot and humid environment, you'll notice that some warping in the paper. That's normal. It's not going to lay flat in that kind of an environment. If it gets super, super wet, it's probably not going to completely lay flat.
Right.
It's going to have a little warping to it from water. That's what water does. Mm-hmm. But it's going to dry out just fine. You're still going to continue to be able to write on it and read what's on there.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Dee was mentioning, she was on earlier. They use those for the punch cards. When at Texas Challenge, they have caches that are out, and they use them for punch cards for people because they can write them real quick and move on with them. So that's really cool. Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea. August, Sean, is when the 2020 celebrations are happening up in Seattle. So,
awesome.
Yeah, maybe we could.
I'm unaware, but if anybody wants to email us, I'd be happy to pass the information along. You can hit me up at sean@writeintherain.com.
Yeah, perfect.
We just want to know if we may be able to get somebody to email you.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You're gonna get a few.
Somebody did mention we were kind of the comments are flying, so I want to make sure we didn't. Scott asked, where are the pins available? Do they get online in stores? Where do they get them?
Yeah, so we have a growing distributorship. So Home Depot, I think we're starting a little bit with Lowe's, Target, a few other places, Walmart sometimes, I think. Different vendors that we've been working with that you can go into a physical store. A lot of your hardware stores and such may have them as well. But you can definitely go to our website, writeintherain.com, and buy them all directly through our website there. We also have a very large Amazon store that you can buy through Amazon. A lot of our pens and paper, all that kind of stuff will be sold through those outlets as well. So, there's a lot of different ways to get the product. Or, of course, if you're in the area, swing by.
That's right.
I'll see you in the store. Absolutely.
But interesting, you mentioned writeintherain.com because that might be a really good place this month
to
buy products from writeintherain.com because I think we've got a discount.
That's correct.
For listeners.
For all listeners.
For all listeners, it's like a 10% discount or something, I think is what we're
we can do better than that.
Better than 10?
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. 15?
Even low.
Low? Am I low?
Oh yeah. God.
Well, how about 20%? 20% off. That's more than you can get anywhere else. So.
20% is good. Absolutely good. But I think we could do better than 20% as well.
Wow. What discount can we get if you're a listener to Geocache Talk?
We could do 30% off for the rest of the month.
Whoa. 30%. Oh, that we kind of messed with that. That was fun, but but there's a key promo code. So 30% discount for listeners during March. And the promo code is Geocache.
That's a hard one to figure out. That was a hard
one. I want everyone, I'm going to do it as well. Everyone go out, buy some products from Rite in the Rain. They've been great products, number one. He's Scott's already ordering right now. So
There
good
you
thing
go.
you waited, Scott, because I told some people they were about to order. I go, wait till the end of the show before you order. I think we're gonna give you something. So they're gonna obviously marketing people are gonna track this promo code. And 30% is a lot. You're right, Josh.
Yeah.
I've
been needing to buy some stuff lately anyway, so I believe
it's great. I love that we're able to do a discount.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you get. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. And honestly, if this is something that is interesting to your viewers to be able to do this, we can look at other ways that we can do this on the road too. I mean, geocaching and Rite in the Rain are a lot more synonymous than maybe even we realized at the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's where, for me, I'm just an IT guy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing sales. I don't run that side of things. But I love the product, and I want to make sure that if there are people out there that want to know how to use the product, that we get the resources in front of them. And something like this, your guys' podcast, what you guys do with this industry is really awesome. And in the last, month and a half or so here, as I've learned more about what you guys do, how much geocaching has changed since I was last in it, and I was not in it in any sense like that. It's just been cool. It's been really neat to see the community around all of this.
Yeah. Can you share it? No.
They missed it tonight. They missed it forever. No.
They have
share
to
the podcast.
Listen to the show.
Yeah. Share a link to the show if they want the discount code.
That's right. Tell them to go listen to it. Tell them go listen. No,
we'll make them work for it.
Yeah.
The ones our cat brain that was mentioned in the small staple ones, those are the freebies that you would get
in store.
The ones the official logo ones, those are the ones that you farmed out to headquarters and they sell it on their website, right? Yeah. That may be the one they're mentioning too.
It might be, or I think they were putting them in kits. So, I think that's why.
Yeah, these ones here are on the geocaching website, geocaching.com. I think the small stapled notebooks, these little guys here, little 24-page sample notebooks. These are in store.
Yeah,
so these are in our physical store in Tacoma, Washington.
Right.
So we do have. If you go to a trade show or anything like that, you'll see these passed out like candy.
Right. But there's smaller versions. If you look through the website a little bit, there's smaller ones than this. This is good for ammo can. I like the smaller one you had, which was just real handy.
Ryan's reminding us that we never said the code for. Did we say the code or just show it on the screen?
No, we said it.
Okay, yeah. So the code is geocache for the audio listeners.
Yeah, there you go. Those are cool. Yeah, I like those. I like the different colors. It's a good size. Show that versus. I think you don't have do you have a 146 there or?
I don't think I've got a 146 on me here.
That's okay.
I think I've got one in the basement, but actually, you know what? I think I've got yep, I do have a 146.
Oh, okay, there you go. Just show it next to the other ones.
This is one of the, I like that.
Yeah, this is one of the kits that you can buy.
Oh yeah, that is sweet.
So this has a pen, a 146.
Right.
So the 135 in size.
There you go. There's a good. Yeah. Perfect.
So, but you get in the kit, you get the pen. You also get a nice pouch to store it in.
Right.
So you can keep it inside of here, and you get one of our 97 pens.
Oh, sweet!
Well. Nice. Little quicker pens.
I like that.
Now, those products, Sean, do they get treated as well that with any kind of so they're water resistant to an
to an extent. I mean, they will hold up just fine. They are very durable. The material that we use for them is very, very durable.
Okay, cool.
In fact, this is one of the things that we find with these go out to the military all the time.
Oh,
so this type of a kit goes out a lot.
Perfect.
But specifically these types of pouches. So we've got those in several different colors. This one comes in black, but we get them individually. This is kind of a tan, coyote tan. We've got camo print. We've got
Cool.
All sorts of things.
Scott.
So this is our clamp desk. So this is more of a binder style.
Oh, wow.
So I've got one of ours. I do my woodworking plans and design and such inside of one of our larger ones.
Right.
So this is actually one that we don't make anymore, and I'm really bummed. We made this specifically for Filson. So some of the custom printing that we do for different companies, some of them even get their own custom size. Cool. And so this is one that we don't make on the website. In fact, I've got probably more items in my house that we don't sell to the general public because...
Well, don't show those.
Just kidding. Well, we'll do like, we have a really high... I went out of focus there.
Oh, you're fine.
We have a really high standard for what goes out to the general public, and so if a set of our notebooks don't get cut perfectly in the corners,
right?
They'll go off to the side, and those will go out to employees sometimes, and
right.
So we end up doing something like that.
Cool.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, we start to wrap up tonight. We do have a couple of things we do want to mention.
Yeah.
Other than our code, we wanted to mention about the show we had on Tuesday night, which was Gadget Talk. We have two people so far who have published that Gadget Cache. We need one more, right, Jesse?
We do. We need one more person that's going to do it, and they'll get. Are we telling them what they're getting?
Yeah, we didn't. We haven't told anybody yet. I guess we can go ahead and tell them if they have to get it published first. So you can't just say I'm going to do it. Don't email us. If you email us about your Gadget Cache, which we do love, send us photos and all that. But
this is what we built the other day.
We built, Sean.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
come up, use this on it. Reach inside, get the Rite in the Rain log out, sign it.
There you go. Motorama was one of the winners. You're right. We've got actually two winners. We're looking for the third, but you got to send us your GC code published. Has to be published, and we have one more winner to go, and then we're putting those on the website, and that's really cool. So you're looking forward to that. Anything else, Jesse? No,
I think it's great, and thanks again for working with the listeners, and hopefully we'll get some shopping done. I know I'm going to. So
don't forget the promo code if you're going to buy, or
yeah, absolutely. No, it's again, this is one of those things where like we love seeing our products being used in ways that they might not have even been originally designed to be used for.
Sure.
So where our notebooks are popping up has always been a fun thing for me. Anytime I hear, the company itself that makes Rite in the Rain is called JL Darling. So that's the company, JLD. JL Darling makes Rite in the Rain products. And so anytime someone asks where I work, I'll say, oh, JL Darling. I have no idea what that is. I'm like, oh, well, we make Rite in the Rain. And they're like, oh, I use your notebooks every day at work, whatever they're doing. Or they won't know off the top of my head. And I'll pull my little yellow notebook out of my pocket and be like, yeah, we make these. And they're like, oh, I've seen that. And it's just cool to see that, so many different industries that are buying our product and using it as this is the standard issue piece of equipment that every employee gets.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Sean, thank you so much
my pleasure.
For being on tonight, and glad everything worked out tonight. Talking about it. It really is. It's a cool product. I know a lot of people are, like you said, I'm glad we talked about the pens because we have some people that are really into that love the different pens, and I'm glad y'all are producing some of the pens as well. So that's really cool. So
it's cool. Yeah, we've always got new things coming down the line. We've always got fun things. We've got trial. We've did a trial run for a pen not too long ago. I really liked, but it just didn't make sense to manufacture. It's always one of those like hopefully we'll do a different one, but. Yeah, so we're constantly growing, constantly adding new notebooks, finding new industries where it makes sense. I know that back in the day, we used to have ones that were about half the size of this little square.
Yeah.
Square notebooks that were blank on the inside as well, but those were geocaching notebooks as well.
Okay.
So 5 years ago, when I started at the company, I grabbed a couple of those out of a box of like, oh, we don't need these anymore kind of things.
Right.
But I couldn't find it in my box downstairs. I was bummed.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. That's neat though. Maybe, like you said, over time, maybe we'll see more products that might be kind of related, or maybe we could talk to people about what we would kind of like to see. People talked about the fan ones, maybe there's something that could be done someday for geocaching. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Sean.
Oh, my pleasure.
Been a lot of fun. So a couple things about upcoming shows real quick. Next week is our Mingo Madness geocaching mega announcement. Does that make sense, Jesse?
I mean, everybody knows it's coming. So, and that's Sean, that's what we mentioned earlier in the show. That's where they're going to use the 150, 200 of them, and they're going to put out a big trail for people to go and get. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then on March 11th, we got another Wednesday podcast, our monthly podcast, Geocaching with Kids, our third month. And so really looking forward to that from Derek and see who he has this month. In 2 weeks, I'll be coming back from Texas Challenge, ammo can in hand, Jesse. So
yes, I know.
Looking forward to that. I know. I'm sorry you won't be there, but we're going to talk about logs a little bit. Geocaching profiles, probably more, right?
Yeah.
Some geocaching profile.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about kind of how to. On the website, everybody has their own profile webpage.
Right.
So we're talking about how to add a little extra to that and clean it up, and it's kind of your own. It's your calling card, right? So we're talking about how to spruce that up a little bit.
Right, and maybe how to when you actually sign, not the Rite in the Rain log, but when you sign online, maybe some ideas of what people can do for logs as well. Kind of goes hand in hand with profiles. Do that, and then in 3 weeks, I'm very excited to tell you everyone that we're going to be talking with Julio Valero Gomez. He is a geocacher in Spain, so we're going to do a special show 3 p.m. I did confirm with him, Jesse. 3 p.m. works.
Yeah, international show, so we have to do a little different time than normal.
Yep. So it'll be 10 o'clock his time, but he said that he's good with that. 3 p.m. Love doing international shows, and it'll be fun. We're going to talk about the mega coming up in his area, and kind of get a feel for what's it like to geocache in his part of the world. So that'll be fun. See what kind of products, what kind of containers they end up using in Spain. So that's always neat to hear about. So, all right. And we are done for the night. Let me do our outro, and we will see you guys later.
Awesome. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight, as well as our new format. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.
Sorry about that, Sean. I cut you off again. You're saying
okay. Warn him ahead of time.
That's 2 weeks in a row I've done that where somebody was trying to go say goodnight or whatever, and I cut them right off when I do the video. We'll all do that together. So
fine.
We'll tell everybody thanks again, Sean, and tell everybody we'll say goodnight.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.